And welcome back to the Business Spotlight. This is Patrick Dewar. My guest today is Carl Kunhardt, Quest Capital Management, Inc. And with that, I want to go right into how should someone connect to you? How do you want people to contact you? And then what's the experience when they do?
Okay. Contacting is very easy. You can call. The best number to call is the number that you've shown on the screen. That'll get you straight to the front desk, the receptionist. We have a team member whose sole responsibility is that initial potential client family and getting them started in the process. It's very transparent. It's very easy. There's a very short questionnaire that you'll receive that we ask that you return before the initial meeting, which is a little bit different from most others. And we just feel if you're going to invest an hour to an hour and a half of your time talking to us, then we should make sure that you bring value to that visit. So that's what the questionnaire. It's very top level. People are surprised. It has very little to do with numbers and a lot to do with what's important to you. What's your mission statement? That is one of the questions in the questionnaire. What are the things that you're uncertain? Going back to your previous questions, what are the points of concern? Because we want to make sure that we address those in the initial consultation. Should you decide to move forward in the process after that introductory meeting, the next meeting that we'll schedule is a discovery or data gathering meeting, and that's really where the collection of data happens. It is a dual meeting in that we're not going to go page by page through all of your statements and all of your tax returns. That's for us to do in the background over the coming weeks. But we'll collect all of that data, we'll organize all of that data, we make sure we understand what it is that you're giving us, and we're going to spend the balance of that meeting, which is a fairly long meeting that usually tends to run 2 to 3 hours, on understanding you, building on what we talked about the first meeting, a lot of goal setting, a lot of painting that picture in the box that I talked about previously. The next meeting in the process, if you were to take it right out of a textbook for financial planning, would be the plan presentation. But as I said, in the background, we're going to be reading through your state documents, we're going to be reading through your tax returns, and not just the 1040, but all of the underlying schedules. That takes time. We've got to organize it, we've got to scan it, we've got to get it into the software. And our philosophy is, at those very early stages, going 2 to 3 weeks without having spoken to you is probably not the best idea, especially if you're in one of these transitions and you've come to us. And as I mentioned before, we believe that one of our roles as advisors is to educate.
Right.
So we interject a meeting in between there while we're going through all of these things in the background. That's a purely educational meeting.
Right.
We will go and we start with fundamentals of investments because it's the one domino that touches on everything. So we will cover basics like what's the difference between savings and investments, what's the difference between these stocks and bonds, what is an asset allocation, why is those important, why is an investment policy statement important. I mean, really get down to the fundamentals that really society should have taught us and didn't.
Yeah.
We get to the plan presentation. It's really a financial analysis. It covers everything. It is comprehensive, from cash management and tax planning all the way through estate planning and charitable gifting if you're so inclined, and everything in between. And we're going to put all of our observations, the things that we saw in the reports, in writing, which is a little bit different from others, and we're going to write our recommendations in writing. Now, to a large extent, that's the same process that most financial planners will take you through. A change in our process is that at that point forward, we're going to be proactive with you over the course of the year in implementing those things, because as you well know, I saw a previous segment where you were talking to your guest, plans are great, but if you don't implement it, they're a waste of time and money.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, it's a great idea, but so what?
So what? If you don't do anything with it, you're not going to get anywhere with it. So we spend the balance of the year. That's really where we earn our money. We're fee advisors. We work on a retainer basis. We find that our clients like that because they know that if I give them a call, I'm doing because we need to do something to make the plan go forward, not because I'm trying to generate billable hours.
Right.
And because it is a fixed fee, they know that I'm going to be working as efficiently as possible, and my team's going to be working as efficiently as possible, because any excess costs really are coming out of our pocket, not the clients. So they know what their costs are up front, and it's set. As we approach the anniversary date, we're going to update the analysis to all material changes that have occurred over that year, following an action plan, which is one of the ways that we keep the plan transparent and maintain accountability.
That's right.
And we will produce an annual review. It's not a complete rewrite of a financial plan. Could be, because we update everything. There's just not a necessity to put out another 80-page book. But we're going to focus on the things that have gone well over the course of the year, things that we've made progress on, things that have not gotten done because they need to carry over. We'll need to reprioritize them given what we're going to do over the second year. And then we will build an action plan for the following year. And it's at that point that our clients make a decision on whether they want to continue to work with us in subsequent years or not. And apparently we're doing something right, because our retention rate hovers around 96-97% over 25 years.
That's a phenomenal number, by the way.
Yeah.
So it all starts with a phone call.
It all starts with a phone call, 214-691-6090.
That's right. Make a phone call. If you think you're somebody that you'd like to visit with, Quest Capital Management with Carl Kunhardt, you should. I just encourage you to make a phone call. And this is the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. Thanks again. This show is about having business owners tell their story to the community and at large. We'll talk to you all next time. Thanks again, Pat Dewar.